Hello, Divine Souls, and welcome to a Timeless Collective journal message for my YouTube collective. To open the space and to cleanse the space, I just want to burn some Palo Santo to assist with bringing in the good energies and the beautiful positive flow for this reading today. And of course, to also call in the Most High, the Mother, the Father, and the Source within us to ensure that the insights, the clarity, confirmation, illumination, however it may need to be received through my channel and vessel, is able to be pulled through in this message for those who are open to the message it may be for, to receive for their highest good and nothing but their highest good towards their path and journey in which they wish to be taking at this time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ashe. Beautiful. So I've got my Wandering Star Tarot deck today to bring through this message for the collective who may need to receive. As always, this is a general message, so it may not all fully resonate with you, but do take it however it does resonate and allow it to benefit you in whichever way that is. And just a reminder that my level of communicating the energy in the readings are of a bit of a higher level, so do keep an open mind, as I said, and just simply allow yourself to take away what you do feel is going to assist you along your path and journey, okay? So, alrighty. Okay, beautiful. So those are the cards. Let's have a look. We have the Seven of Swords on the crown and third eye chakra. We have the Five of Wands on the throat and heart chakra. We have the Knight of Wands on the solar plexus and sacral chakra. And we have the Knight of Cups on the root chakra for this reading. Okay, so let's get into this. All right. Now, it does feel like with the Seven of Swords on your crown and third eye chakra, I feel like there is a sense of you needing to really confront some things at this time, okay? And it may be that there are thoughts coming up that you maybe wanted to avoid, that there was a sense of you just don't want to really pay attention to the things that may have not been feeling so great right now, especially because the Seven of Swords is a sense of not really seeing the truth for what it is, even though you may know that it needs to be confronted, right? And there is a sense of avoidance. There is a sense of trying to just push down what isn't making you feel good right now. But there is a sense of you really needing to acknowledge that if you don't bring this up, if you don't really think about this for your own self and potentially even allow it to be brought up by talking to someone who can support you in this particular way, whichever that might be, in a, just communicating something to really help you see through maybe the lies that may have been, I feel like, causing you some reoccurring, I want to say pain, but it's also the sense of just you kind of putting that on yourself. It's definitely coming in as self-sabotage, because there's a sense of you not seeing through the illusions at this time, right? And this is timeless, so just remember that it could be past, present, future. Do take it how it resonates. But there is a reflection needed about what it is that you may be doing at this point in time that is causing your mind to feel a little bit cluttered. Okay. Now, the reason why we have a cluttered mind is because you're not filtering out the things that aren't actually helping you at this point in time, right? And you allowing these thoughts to get you in a sense of overwhelming kind of sensations is only going to keep allowing that to happen until you confront them, until you actually stand up to what it is that you need to really, really look into within yourself, within your own mind, within your perceptions of reality. You're still going to repeat these cycles of what you may have been feeling from this sense of not being upfront with your own self. Okay, and the reality is, and I'm going to put this really plainly because you may need to hear it or just may be reminded, as always, keep an open mind. But if you are not even honest to yourself, if you can't confront your own self, you can't confront your own shadows and things that may be popping up in your mind, how do you expect to be honest with other people? How do you expect to be honest in relationships and being real about the connections that you have in which that you communicate your truth and awareness? If you are diluting your communication in a way that it is not genuine, is not authentic, then you're not having a genuine, open, authentic relationship with yourself first. Because everything that happens within our own energy is occurring on the external as well, within whatever, that way that seems to come through in the external, whether that be with people, whether that be with projects, however that is. But there is a sense of you holding yourself back by self-sabotaging. And it's not to say that you're doing this on purpose. I don't necessarily ever believe anyone's really fully conscious. You may be, but I feel the collective I'm tuning into, you just may need this to bring this to the forefront of your mind, so that you can acknowledge that there are things that maybe you hadn't wanted to be honest about and that you may have been sweeping under the carpet. But now, if you can actually align with your own truth and really be honest about, the thoughts you've had, and just really, I want to say, break them down to a point of you releasing them and really forgiving yourself for not being able to, be honest with yourself, the easier it will be for you to start kind of, like, the imagery on this is having swords within the head. And that's kind of the thing of, like, there's just all this cluttered energy. And if you can just slowly start unpacking all of it, the easier it will be for you to take a step forward you need to. Because if that's all on your mind and this is on your throat and heart chakra, you're in a lack mentality. You think that you are being shut out from something. You feel like you aren't able to make something work within your heart and your throat. You're not communicating yourself. You're not truly expressing who you are. And this is causing you a lot of strife, okay? It is causing you literal pain. Like, she is crying in this imagery because she feels like she's not, connected to something. And that's the point, is you're losing the connection to yourself by avoiding the parts of you that you fear are scary or that cause you more pain. But if you can actually acknowledge that, bringing that pain up is only going to support you in learning about who you are truly, by letting go of the things that have been attached to you that aren't the real you. If you can release that, the easier it will be for you to acknowledge that your hardships, your struggles weren't meant to keep you where you are. They were meant to help you see through them and heal, so that you could use that as strength instead of using it as just pain that you thought was meant to stay with you, right? But you have to move through them by acknowledging the truth, your truth, not getting caught up in the lies or telling yourself things just to make yourself feel better for temporary time. When you can actually explore what it is that is true, you can then bring about change. And 5 is change. 5 of Pentacles is a sense of physical change. So if you can move through the fact that things that are being released right now, things that you've had to let go of, things that you are really needing to confront, as I said, of the parts of you that you need to release so that you can move through into a next cycle, will be so beneficial for you at this time. Okay, now I won't tell you what to do. I'm here to simply guide and give you a new perspective. So you can use this to simply open your perspective wider to a further lens of what it is you're already seeing. But you are in a position of needing to change, because your heart and your throat, they're blocked by the fact that you won't let it release the truth of who you are. And if you're holding that back, you're only hurting yourself in the process, right? And you're only causing yourself to have more pain, more struggles, more, sense of that you don't have what you want, and victimizing yourself in that position. But when you realize that you are not a victim, you are actually the creator and the navigator of your story, then you can start making things happen. Then you can start progressing in the way you wish to. But you got to get really, really clear and filter out the stuff that isn't going to work for you and that you need to be honest about, so that you can really make the right choices for yourself by being honest. Really looking at what in your life isn't working, what is feeling like it's just holding you back, what do you need to do that will actually be for your highest good. And it does feel like with the solar plexus and sacral chakra that the Knight of Wands energy is really asking you to trust your intuition and flow with where you're being led towards, okay? Now, with the Knight of Wands, it is a fire energy. There is a sense of needing to take that action, right? The change is coming, the change has happened, whether it is a sense of you letting go of the things you need to, or the fact that the universe has simply cleared the path for you to start really taking a new journey and a new pathway that may actually have more potential and prospect for you compared to the one you were already on. It may have been one that you just were on because you were repeating the cycles of what you didn't know you were doing. But if you can be conscious enough to realize that your intuition is guiding you exactly where you need to be, that will help you move in the ways that will actually get you where you want to feel good, you know, where you want to feel like you're achieving what it is that you truly can achieve in your life. But you have to flow with the things that are going to align with you properly. If you're compelling yourself to do things that aren't actually assisting you, then you're only keeping yourself stuck. If you can untie those knots, if you can loosen them and really start to really reflect on it, the easier it will be for you to make movement, to take action, to go on the journey you need to go on. That will be actually in support of where you're headed for your experience in the way that looks for you. You know, you'll know by knowing that where you're feeling called, whether that's an endeavor, project, communities, where you're needing to, you know, do what it is that you have to offer the world. We all have gifts and abilities, so really look at that passionate side of you and see where you can add your energy that will actually support your path and mission. And if you start doing it now, the easier it will be for you to just keep doing it. You've got to just take the first step, right? And that's your inner child really wanting you to start tapping into the creativity it holds within, that it already exists within you. You just need to allow it to flow through you and to actually move in a way that will benefit you instead of holding you back. Because it feels like you're very insecure at this time, and it's not a bad thing to be insecure, but it's time for you to be honest about whether that's true or not for you, to change it. When you become aware, awareness is one step, and then the second step is, what is your decision about that awareness? Are you going to allow it to continue, or are you going to allow yourself to actually take the steps that will benefit you, even if they feel a little uncomfortable? Because the Knight of Cups is an energy of you being wanting to make the offers in which will actually support you. And what I mean by that is there will be opportunities that you can create for yourself if you simply allow yourself to open up to them, to the possibility of what could potentially occur for you that will bring emotional fulfillment, of you bearing your heart on your sleeve and vulnerability of being true to who you are, by acknowledging who you are and knowing that you have strength in that to then make the moves you need to make. And that's on your root chakra. So it's a sense of you actually being stable and grounded within that, knowing that being, you know, open to your emotions and being open to your vulnerability is not weakness. It is not ever going to hold you back. If anything, it's going to allow you to find freedom in the way that you need to progress forward towards, as I said, those opportunities that are available to you, but you have to allow it to occur by taking the steps that will actually get you to being in those positions. Once you get there, that's where growth will commence. That's where you'll be able to realize that you taking this journey was the best decision you could have made for yourself, because you're only going to find that even if challenges and struggles still occur, you're going to learn from them instead of holding back and letting them stop you from your truest potential. And ultimately, it's about you making that choice for yourself. Like I said, I don't have any control over you. It is your life and you get to decide. But if you want to progress towards a higher timeline where you are actually feeling like you and you feel good about yourself and you're navigating through different hurdles with strength, that's a really positive experience compared to being stuck in a lack mentality that, you know, I want to say, like, there's a sense of just no one gets you. But the reality is you have to understand that no one will ever truly get you if you don't even know who you are deep down, right? And that might be a little deep, but the truth is you've got to really acknowledge that if you're ready to take the steps you need to move forward. So let's have a look. I've got the Astral Realms Crystal Oracle. I love these cards. They're beautiful. To bring through some extra insights, clarity, confirmation, however it needs to be for this reading, to support you, of course, through this and, you know, to really help you shine through what it is you need to at this time. So let's just bring this forth. Okay, so we have expansion. It's the Crystal Opal and the North Node. So expansion is really asking you to see, as I said, like this sense of, can you explore the depth of who you are to then expand through that? It may not be straightforward. It's not always easy. I promise you I understand that and I have empathy for you in that way. But if you just take the first steps of being honest with yourself, then you get the choice to make about what it is that you truly want for yourself. And if you want to stay where you are, if you like being stagnant, if you like being in a place where you're repeating the same patterns and cycles, by all means, you keep doing that. Eventually you'll realize you'll get tired of it. If I'm being honest, trust me, it's why you see people hit breaking point or, you know, rock bottom, and then they realize, why didn't I do this earlier? Because you have to sometimes get to that point to realize what's going on. So this is only bringing this forth so that you can make a choice now compared to actually hitting rock bottom or getting to a point where it's just so much more painful to deal with. But if you can do it now and really make the change and really decide on that, your expansion is on the other side of that. Okay? And then the next card is fluorite asteron. I don't know what that actually means. Asteron. You can always have a look into that. That might be significant because I don't even really know what that means. But the main key word is introspection. So that's what I'm talking about as well, right? So this is a sense. I'll hold it this way because you can't see the words. But this is a sense of knowing that if you can take the path and journey that you're meant to, and introspect on what it is that you need to get done and need to do for yourself, then ultimately then you can start that, process in which you choose the journey that's going to help you the most and help you really bloom and blossom into the version of you that will really find that you ultimately had the power to decide how you were perceiving the world around you and to perceive yourself. Because a lot of the time is that you get caught up in the stories that you were telling yourself, and until you change those stories, you're very much stuck in the past. And then when you can actually introspect within your own truth, you start to decide, well, this is what I want to be in my reality and what my truth is and how you're going to use that to actually create the change you wish to see in yourself. Because ultimately, if you can change within yourself, you can start beginning to help others change and help them reach their potential and help them see the truth within themselves as well. It's all like a ripple effect. That was what like a mandala type energy of just knowing that you are a big, part in which people will also learn from if you can start taking action for your own self. You inspire people if you actually decide that you can make those changes within yourself, and not to say that some people will not agree with it or will not like that you're changing, because some people cannot, stand change and they resist it, but that's not your problem. Your life is the life you want to live, and if you want to have a happier life, a better experience in life, then making the changes that will support you in that will be beneficial in the highest way possible. So this is your reading, Divine Soul. As always, I simply hope to show up as a guide, as a energy to show you a way that maybe you weren't seeing before, and to bring that to your awareness, to guide you with a new perspective, or simply remind you of perspectives you may already know but just simply needed to be brought to your attention again, so that you can take the right steps for yourself during your path and journey. And as always, I'm wishing you many, many blessings, and I know that you'll continue along your path and journey however you need to, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day.